Hey guys, how's it going? My name is John, and today we're going to talk about the IPOB SPAC, which is going to turn into Opendoor once the reverse merger happens. So pretty much this is my take on it. Of course, everyone says it. This is all for educational purposes only, but I do believe that my analysis makes sense. And for some, it might click, and for some, you might have to watch this a few times. But this is basically where I see price going, and why I think, at least my take on why I think whatever's happening is happening. So here in the charts, I have IPOB on a 1 hour chart. If we go back on just even a daily chart, we see this huge run up, and it looks like it wants to close this gap. But after the huge run up, a run up like this is what, 70-80%. It makes sense for it to come back. So I'm gonna go down on time frames. I already have some support and resistance levels laid out on my chart, and these are only mainly levels that I saw where there were major price corrections, and what I deem as very I guess high reaction price points for the stock. So now I just went down to the 1 hour, and if you're familiar with any technical patterns, I really don't use technical patterns for that matter, but when I have a plan, or if I have an idea of what I think the stock might do, those kinds of things just kind of help me confirm that, okay, it makes sense. This is basically, I can make the trade with confidence because I have multiple things kind of converging together into basically this one point where, okay, this looks pretty optimal, I'm going to get in. But basically right here, we see this run up. I don't remember which run up was when he came out on the news. I believe it was a Monday. So when it was Monday, I believe it was the 14th, right? Yeah, this run up. Yeah, so pretty much this huge run up. It happened. It pulled back a little bit, and then it broke this last high and came back down into this highs range, and has been consolidating or running a little lower since. Pretty much consolidating downwards a little bit. But now it's at this what we would call a nice strong support level. Price reacted here pretty hard both times. Went all the way back up here, gapped way down. Aftermarket touched it again, and ultimately ran through once the news broke out. But basically everyone jumped in. Whoever jumped in, for example, in the hype, probably jumped in like here, and if you did jump in, you're probably holding it off now, and you're wondering what to do next. If you're waiting on the sidelines, what makes sense. And what I think makes sense to happen next is for another run up. I really do think that this stock, fundamentally, with Chamath being behind it, and Opendoor being a real estate, basically online service to take the real estate transaction process online, there's pretty much, I would say, not too much downside and a whole lot of upside potential for this kind of stock. And I would only be interested in taking long positions on it. So I generally have never ever gone short on any stocks, and I only would invest in a stock that I'm comfortable owning for a long time in the event my trade doesn't really go as planned, and it makes total sense to average in your position. So don't really try and go all in on one price point. But so at this price point of $14.90, this range, I wouldn't call this line an exact price point where it would react, but just imagine this whole box, just this area has support and resistance, and right now it is acting as a support for it. On a 1 hour, we can see that it is basically traded down to it. If we go down to the 15-minute even closer, now we see that price initially on that before the run up, touch, broke through, came all the way back down and tested it again. It broke this high, I would imagine, because there's a whole bunch of limit orders up here. It grabbed all those limit orders, and now people are sitting red who have been triggered above this high. So I would imagine that they're pretty much going to trade sideways as long as they want to until, and when I say they, I mean like big institutions, hedge funds, the people with a lot of money, not retail traders like you and me, are basically holding out these positions hostage for people who got triggered up here. And ultimately, I saw this break downward and come back up and retest, and it's been chilling since. So really tomorrow, what I want to see happen is some kind of new resistance level to be broken and taken as support. So I would imagine that this level on a short-term time frame could be a nice entry point to get in if it were to break above here, even come up here, fall back down, and then run back up. Now, how do you set an exit, for example? Well, I think that if it's going to run up, price has already been chilling here for a while. So I would imagine if it's going to run up, it's going to take out one of those next highs. I mean, one of the most previous highs. It has to take out one of those levels. Because if you think about it, what are the retail traders doing who may have missed out on this move? Or anyone who has any take profits or limit orders, where would they put it? It's probably going to be up here, above this 1808 level. So if it's going to run up again and it runs up hard, I can see it breaking this $18 level. So essentially my price target would be $18, and I would want to have just a little bit more confirmation before I went long on this position. Now, what happens if it goes against you? Where do you cut your losses? Well, see this kind of company, I don't think you should take your losses, because if you do your due diligence, this is going to be a good company. So if you're going to get in and it falls back down, my next point of interest would be down here at this $12.30, $12.50 range, somewhere down here, even a little bit above, because sometimes it doesn't break this level. But then again, you never know if there's a bunch of orders down here, a bunch of juicy orders that those big hedge funds and institutional investors want a piece of. So they're going to come down there and grab those and ultimately run up higher past this $18 mark. But in the short term, I'm pretty sure this is going to keep going sideways until some kind of other news comes out or the merger actually happens to get above this $18 level. But I do see it going above this $18 level, and it's just a matter of time. So I hope you guys found this informative as far as how to make some judgment. I mean, some decisions, figure out, make a trading plan, make a plan for like where you want to get in on the stock. Not necessarily day trading per se, where you have to get in and out today or tomorrow specifically. It really has to pan out how you thought it was going to pan out. Once you make your plan, you have to execute the trade. So I'm interested in this stock, but I want to see a little bit more conviction at this price point before I go long. And if it breaks lower, I'm expecting to get in back at the $12 range. But with a company like this one, I really don't see why it would go back down to $12. So ultimately, this is a good price point, but I do want to mitigate my risk and see just a little bit more bullish confirmation before I get back in. But anyways, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please leave a comment on any other stocks you might want me to look at. I appreciate your time, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you.